Captain Ibrahim Traoré has just delivered a bombshell speech exposing how Morocco's celebrated $9 billion zero-cent solar project is actually operating at just 60% capacity, calling it another example of failed Western technology imposed on Africa. But Traoré didn't stop there. He's announced Burkina Faso's revolutionary plan to develop homegrown solar technology that actually works in African conditions. Why is international media staying silent about Morocco's massive failure? And how is Traoré's bold energy independence plan threatening Western interests? This is Fire News. Stay tuned because what Captain Traoré revealed will change everything. I'll be right back. Welcome to Fire News, your source for unfiltered African perspectives on stories that matter. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss our breaking coverage of what's really happening across the continent. Your support keeps independent African voices strong. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has just dropped another truth bomb that has Western powers scrambling for damage control. During yesterday's African Energy Summit in Ouagadougou, Traoré exposed one of the biggest renewable energy scandals currently unfolding in North Africa. And you're probably not hearing about it anywhere else because it completely destroys their narrative about African development. Traoré stood before delegates from 15 African nations and said, "While our Moroccan brothers were celebrating their so-called solar success, I sent our engineers to investigate. What they found will shock you. This $9 billion zero-cents project that was supposed to power over 1 million homes is failing dramatically, producing only 60% of promised capacity. Let me break this down for you. The Ouarzazate solar complex in Morocco, this massive project that international media celebrated as Africa's green energy triumph, covers an area larger than Paris and cost $9 billion zero cents of taxpayer money. It was designed to generate 580 megawatts of electricity, enough to power over 1 million Moroccan homes. European investors and green energy advocates called it a game changer for Africa. But here's what Captain Traoré discovered through his investigation. Since January 2024, this facility has been consistently producing only 348 megawatts on average. That's a 40% failure rate, and the international media has been completely silent about this massive disaster. This is exactly what happens when we allow foreign powers to impose their solutions on African soil, Traoré declared to thunderous applause. They design technology for European climates, sell it to us at inflated prices, then walk away when it fails in our environment. Traoré's intelligence team uncovered shocking details about the project's failures. The mirror alignment systems keep breaking down because they weren't designed for Saharan sandstorms. The cooling systems fail constantly under extreme desert heat. The molten salt storage systems are degrading 3 times faster than expected. These are fundamental design flaws that should have been caught before spending $9 billion zero cents. But what really angered Captain Traoré was the human cost. His investigators spoke with local communities around Ouarzazate who lost their ancestral lands for this failed project. Ahmed Moussaoui, a farmer whose family was displaced, told Traoré's team, "They promised us jobs and prosperity. Instead, we lost our livestock pastures, and our children still migrate to cities looking for work." This is neo-colonialism disguised as green energy, Traoré stated firmly. They take our land, destroy our communities, impose their failing technology, then blame us when it doesn't work. The financial scandal is even worse. Traoré revealed that Morocco's national electricity company is facing penalty payments to international investors while dealing with maintenance costs that are 3 times higher than projected. The project consumes 2.5 million cubic meters of water annually in a drought-stricken region, forcing local villages to depend on expensive water trucking services. As Moroccan brothers are paying hundreds of millions in penalties for a project that's destroying their environment and failing their people, Traoré explained, this is the price of trusting Western green energy corporations. But here's where Traoré's leadership really shines. He didn't just expose the problem, he announced the solution. Burkina Faso is launching the African Solar Initiative, a homegrown renewable energy program designed specifically for African conditions by African engineers. "We will not repeat Morocco's mistakes," Traoré declared. "Burkina Faso will develop solar technology that works in our climate, uses our materials, and serves our communities. We will prove that African solutions for African problems are not just possible, they're superior." Traoré announced that Burkina Faso has partnered with engineers from Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa to create the continent's first indigenous solar technology research center. The facility will focus on developing desert-resistant solar panels, water-efficient cooling systems, and storage solutions using locally available materials. Why should we import expensive European mirrors that break in our sandstorms when we can manufacture stronger alternatives here? Traore asked. Why should we depend on foreign technicians when we can train our own people? The announcement has sent shockwaves through international development circles. The World Bank, which provided $400 million, 0 cents, for Morocco's failed project, has quietly cancelled similar investments in 3 other African countries. European green energy companies are reportedly panicking about losing their African markets. China immediately offered to support Traoré's African solar initiative, while Russia praised his visionary leadership in energy independence. The European Union issued a statement expressing concerns about fragmentation of renewable energy standards, which translates to panic about losing control over Africa's energy development. Religious leaders across Burkina Faso have rallied behind Traoré's vision. Imam Abdul Rahman Ouadraogo declared, "Captain Traoré is showing us the path to true independence, not just political, but technological and economic. This is jihad against energy colonialism." Christian leaders have been equally supportive. Bishop Paul Ouedraogo stated, "What Captain Traoré is doing represents the fulfillment of God's plan for Africa, using our own gifts to solve our own challenges." The response from other African leaders has been overwhelming. Ghana's president has requested technical cooperation, while Tanzania's government announced plans to visit Burkina Faso's Solar Research Center. Even Morocco's King Mohammed VI has privately congratulated Traoré on his initiative, according to diplomatic sources. But the Western response reveals their true intentions. Instead of supporting African innovation, they're desperately trying to maintain their monopoly on green technology exports. A leaked EU document describes Traoré's solar initiative as a strategic threat to European renewable energy markets in Africa. "They're afraid," Traoré observed during a follow-up interview. "For decades, they've told us we need their technology, their expertise, their solutions. Now we're proving we can do better ourselves, and they're terrified of losing their cash cow." The practical implications of Traoré's vision are already becoming clear. Burkina Faso's Solar Research Center will create thousands of high-skilled jobs for young Africans who would otherwise migrate to Europe. Local communities will own and maintain their own energy systems, instead of depending on foreign corporations. Most importantly, Traoré's approach prioritizes community benefit over corporate profit. Every solar installation in Burkina Faso will be owned by the communities it serves, he announced. "Our people will control their own energy destiny." International climate experts are taking notice. Dr. Sarah Cohn from the University of Cape Town praised Traoré's approach. "This represents a fundamental shift from importing expensive foreign solutions to developing appropriate technology for African conditions. It's exactly what the continent needs." The geopolitical implications are enormous. If Traoré's African solar initiative succeeds, it could end Western dominance over Africa's renewable energy development. Other African leaders are already expressing interest in joining the program. "This is bigger than solar panels," explained energy economist Professor Hassan Alawi. Traoré is challenging the entire model of African development, from dependence on foreign solutions to self-reliant innovation. As Traoré concluded his historic speech, Morocco's $9 billion 0 cents failure is Africa's $9 billion 0 cents lesson. We will not repeat their mistakes. We will not accept their excuses. We will build our own future with our own hands. The question now is, will other African leaders follow Traoré's bold example, or will they continue accepting expensive foreign solutions that fail our people? What do you think? Is Captain Traoré right to reject Western green technology in favor of African innovations? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on Traoré's revolutionary policies and their impact across Africa, make sure to subscribe to Fire News, hit that like button, share this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss our exclusive coverage of Africa's rising leaders. Until next time, this is Fire News, bringing you the stories that matter for Africa's future.